Hello everyone! This sink right here is the filthiest and smelliest in the world. I promise you, I've never seen anything like this before. And this is the rest of Anton's apartment. And yes, Anton is the tenant's real name. And today you'll get to meet him and even hear his interview. So stay tuned, guys! And guys, if you know me, you know that I can't wait to scrub this beauty. Oh my gosh! The bathroom looks stunning too! Yes, how about upstairs? Looking gorgeous! Yes, I wanna dig in. Okay, this is the living room, so there should be a bedroom somewhere. Ooh, a lot of left. Oh, moldy chicken wings. Nice. Ooh, mold everywhere. Oh my, this is the bedroom. Okay guys, let's start by cleaning the bathroom. Because, well, this might be a bit embarrassing to admit, but often I have no other options than to use the resident's bathroom. That's facts. That's why I usually try to start with the bathroom, even if it doesn't always look like that on video. But today we are definitely starting with the bathroom, so we can use it. Yeah. Sometimes if the bathroom is really dirty, but it has to be really dirty that I can't use it. But then I'll drive to the nearest gas station, but for example here we don't have any extra time. So we just have to deal with it. But it isn't that bad. Right? And today, I'm not cleaning alone because my friend Amos is here with me. And we traveled all the way to Sweden to help Anton and his whole family for free. But here's a plot twist. Anton's story went viral, like super viral in Sweden because he didn't create the world's dirtiest sink by himself. I mean, he has a crazy story to share. So I'll let him explain everything. But before that, the sweetest thing ever is that my sponsor, Sini Cleaning, sponsored the whole trip to help Anton. I mean, you've probably seen me using their products all the time. They manufacture high-quality cleaning tools like brushes, mops, dusters, and much more. And they just launched in Sweden, and they are already sold out. Isn't that crazy? Crazy cool! Even though that really doesn't surprise me at all, because I wouldn't just use their products if they weren't the best. Hey, here I'm using a replaceable hair dish brush by Sini. It's kind of soft but still stiff, and it scrubs really well. Because usually brushes are either rock hard or too flimsy to clean anything, and it does matter when you are doing your dishes. It does. Or like me, I'm using a dish brush for my bathroom sink, like here, my shower, like almost everywhere, every surface that I can wash. Well, you know that if you watch my videos before. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Sini Cleaning because it's not cheap to fly me all over the world to help people. I mean, rental cars, supplies, food, flights, hotels, it all costs quite a lot, but they also want to do good. They are such a great company, and now you can get their products all over Europe and in the UK, and you can find their store link in the description. And we are working on getting them to the US too, but it's hard. But now guys, I want to tell you Anton's story because it's so interesting. So let's begin. Hello Anton, how are you? Could you tell me a bit about yourself so we can get to know you better?
Yeah, my name is Anton, and I'm a 33-year-old guy from Helsingborg in Sweden. Helsingborg is the city where I currently live and have lived in for several years before. I grew up with my family outside Helsingborg, where my parents and one of my sisters still are living. My younger sister has already moved to Stockholm. I would say I am a happy and social person that likes to hang out with friends, family, and meet new people when I'm free. At the moment, I'm working in a clothing store named Sweet and Tender that my friend owns here in Helsingborg, and I'm helping out there as much as I can. Otherwise, my hobbies are to watch the football club Helsingborg's IF when they play. I like to read and write, travel, and explore new places. I like to get to know new cultures and people.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. And it's great to know a bit more about you than just your age. So, could you tell me what happened here? How did your relatively clean home turn into chaos?
Yeah, so I was going abroad for about a year and a half of work, and I was so excited. It was something that I felt like I really needed at that time of my life. I lived in a 2-story house. It wasn't new or anything, but in a really lovely area near the Danish border. Many people from here actually work in Denmark. I had been renting the apartment for about 11 years. I moved in when I was 22, and now I'm 33. I would say my home looks like me, if I can say that. It's cozy here, but I wanted a bit of a change, so I decided to leave Sweden for a while and head to Spain. First, I moved to Barcelona to start study Spanish, and the last year I've been studying a course named International Cooperation. One part of this course was to work for 5 months in an aid organization to volunteer and help different people in the community. I did that in Chile, South America. This was one of the best months of my life. Obviously, I didn't want to leave my apartment sitting empty all that time because I didn't want to pay rent for 2 places. My landlord is a really nice guy who lives nearby, and of course I asked for his permission and he happily agreed. It seemed like the smart thing to do was to rent it out and help cover the costs while I was away, right?
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. I mean, if you are away for 1.5 years, you obviously don't want to let your apartment sit empty. No. And of course, you need a place to return to when you are coming back. So, and if this apartment felt like your home to you, I totally get why you want to rent it out for a little while you are away. But yeah, so where did you find the new tenant?
So I started to look for a tenant right away, and the process went really smoothly. I actually found someone who seemed completely responsible. He was a guy who worked in Denmark and was earning pretty well. This is a pretty small place, so many people know each other. I met him a few times and he liked my apartment. It helped him commute to Denmark for work on weekdays. We agreed that of course I'd leave all my stuff for him, dishes, sofa, bed, etc. This, of course, turned out to be a terrible mistake. But I didn't know that at the time. I left for Spain in good spirits and gave the guy the key. Naturally, during the first month, I was a bit nervous about whether he'd pay the rent. The rent was the same as mine, so I wasn't profiting from it. I was nervous for no reason, because he paid the rent on time. Well, he had a stable job, and at this point I had no reason to raise any red flags. I felt confident and good about leaving my place in his hands. I was enjoying my life abroad. For the first part of the rental period, everything was fine. Rent came in on time, there were no complaints or issues. So, of course, I assumed everything was going as expected.
I bet so. Hey, let's take a look upstairs. Because of Anton's crazy story that you are about to hear in a bit, hey, there's Anton! The story ended up in the national news in Sweden and also in Finland. So there were at least 6 reporters taking pictures of me and the apartment. It was a crazy day. On the first day, there was always someone taking videos, pictures, asking questions, and Anton was there from time to time too, which was nice. I made Amos wear my cute pink apron too. And if you want your own pink cleaning apron, check out my website at aurikacleaning.com and get yours there. Cleaning is so much more fun when you have a cute outfit, right? Oh, the couch is totally ruined. It's so greasy and filthy. But don't worry, guys, because this time people are donating new furniture and stuff for Anton. Which is great. I can't believe it. Or I can, but you know. But hey, okay. So let's continue the story. You have to hear this. So Anton, your time abroad was coming to an end, and you were supposed to come back home to Sweden.
Yeah, so that's when things started to get strange. So over a year went by and he had paid rent every month diligently. And we had been in contact from time to time. My work in South America was coming to an end. As the lease was approaching its end, I naturally wanted to check in with the tenant to make sure everything was okay for when I returned. At first, I didn't think much of it when he didn't respond right away. I don't remember the exact days, but I think I texted him on a Monday and hadn't received a reply by Wednesday, I'd say. I thought it was a little strange, and at that point, I started worrying if he had stolen the key or some belongings, or if something had happened to him. I sent several messages, but he didn't respond. I even called, but no messages, no calls back. That's when I really started to worry. It was a really unsettling feeling, not knowing what I was going to walk into when I got back. But nothing could have prepared me for what I actually found.
Okay, that sounds stressful. Like you are coming back home and you don't even know if you are getting in. That must be a really stressful situation. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I had a really late flight home. My plane landed at 11 p.m. and I was home after midnight. By that time, the guy hadn't texted or called me back at all, so I thought he had stolen the key or something. I arrived by taxi at midnight, just nervous about whether the key was in the mailbox as we agreed when we made the lease agreement. The wave of relief when I found the key in the mailbox was huge. But the real nightmare was still ahead. I opened my apartment door, and the first thing I noticed was this very strange, unpleasant smell. It was dark, and the hallway light didn't work. At first I didn't see anything unusual, but the first thing that hit me was the smell. It was an odd smell that I did not recognize, but I didn't have time to think about what it was. I tried the bathroom light, but it didn't work either, which was weird because it had always worked fine before. I took out my phone and used a flashlight to head to the kitchen. The first thing I noticed were the huge piles of trash. They were everywhere. The whole place was trashed. There was spoiled food everywhere and even rotting meat. There were bugs, like these little beetles, crawling around the apartment. It was so bad that I couldn't even stay inside for long. I had to step outside to process what I had just seen. Because the worst part was definitely the sink. It looked like something out of a horror movie. I didn't even recognize my home anymore. The place I had taken care of for years was completely destroyed.
Okay, even though I love dirt and trashes, that sounds horrible. I would never ever want to see my apartment looking like that. I mean, wow. And I mean, having that happen the first thing when you come back home, that's literally like a horror movie. But what did you do then?
Yeah, so as I said, it was already midnight, but luckily I reached one of my friends and they were still awake and responded to me because it was obvious that I needed a place to stay. So I locked the door behind me and drove to my friend's place. I felt like I was living in a nightmare and honestly didn't know what to do.
I wouldn't have known what to do either. But then what? What did you do?
So I decided to sleep on it and confront him the next day once I had calmed down a little bit. I sent him text messages, but I never got a reply. At this point, I was getting kind of anxious because I had no idea what had happened and where he was and how he was doing. I was trying my very best to stay positive. Like, this could be fixed, right? I had insurance and everything, so surely it's gonna be fine. The next day, I went to the apartment with my friends and family during the day, and the place looked even worse than it had the night before. All my belongings were destroyed, my bed, my sofa, all the furniture, basically everything. The fridge, all of it was covered in dirt and trash. The place really stank, and there were piles of garbage everywhere. I thought my sink would never be the same. Neither my friends nor I could handle cleaning up such a mess.
Well, of course, we don't know how the sink is going to turn out, but I promise you it's going to be amazing. Even though the bed was ruined, I still wanted to put new sheets on it because I bought them beforehand. That's the reason number 2. But I don't know, it just feels so much better with fresh sheets, even though the bed is still dirty. Oh, look at these night tables. They are like, the dust on them, it's so weird. It's like being there, feels like years, but 1.5 years maybe.
I kept texting him, just trying to get a hold of him. I was asking why my home looked like this and what had happened. I needed to know the answer. Basically, any answer would have done. I was becoming so desperate. I wanted to know how and why, but he never replied. I just have to assume something very dramatic had happened to him, right? I mean, no one lives like this if everything is alright. Of course, I may never know what truly happened, but I immediately thought of some sort of mental illness, depression or something like that. And if that is the case, it's obviously hard not to feel sympathy for him, just thinking about the things he must have gone through. But at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that my apartment has been destroyed in the process. At this point, I had no idea what to do next. It was a tough situation because, on one hand, you don't want to kick someone when they're down. But on the other hand, I had to deal with the mess that was left behind. His problems really became my problem. It felt so bad that this had happened, and honestly, I did not know how to fix it.
I mean, we can never truly know the truth behind this, but it certainly looks like as soon as he moved into this apartment, he started making a mess here. But I feel like not intentionally against Anton. I'm pretty sure about that, because often people suffering from mental health issues don't show it openly, and they seem like ordinary people, like quote-unquote ordinary people. I don't know what that means exactly, but you get the point. But they have serious struggles with managing their lives in every area. I mean, many, especially women, tend to put more effort into their appearance the messier their home gets. I feel like they are trying to compensate by looking as clean and put together as possible while their home is in complete disarray. I mean, this tenant looked normal, he was working, he felt like a really nice guy. Wow, that spatula was all moldy. Beautiful. Okay, Anton, what did you do then?
The first thing I could think of was I needed to go to the police. I told them that this man had destroyed my apartment and all my belongings. They advised me to contact my insurance company. And as I said, I thought my insurance would cover this because, of course, I had home insurance. But what I didn't know was that the tenant didn't have any. So, when I approached the insurance company, they said they wouldn't cover anything because the insurance only applied to me, and the other person didn't have any insurance. That was a devastating blow. I was completely shattered, and my friends and family tried to help me sort things out. My sister works at Aftonbladet as a journalist, and her friend wanted to write a story about my situation. maybe it could help someone else avoid going through the same thing. Yeah, so my sister works for the Aftonbladet, and her colleague wanted to write about the case because it was something never heard before. And the story surprisingly got an enormous amount of attention. Basically every media outlet in Sweden was interested in the story, and it was even reported abroad. It was crazy. People were furious with the tenant who had caused the damage. I received a lot of empathy, and people started donating money. People were shocked by the state of my home. I gave more interviews and the story blew up. I know the man fled town and moved away.
Now guys, sorry, we have to pause the story because we need to focus on the sink. This is the most gorgeous thing that ever existed. It looks like lasagna or something. Amos was struggling here because the smell was horrific. I mean, look! Is this even real? I don't know. Am I dreaming or what is going on? Oh man, this was so much fun. I was having a blast. Okay, I was so glad that there was this drain so we could use it, because if you saw, the bathroom or the toilet was leaking, so that's why we had to pour this whole thing outside. Yeah, it was raining there, so the smell wasn't that bad. Or the rain washed the smell away. Oh my, this is the moment I've been waiting for. My beloved lasagna dirt. I don't know, but it looks like lasagna. Soon you will see. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever done. This was so much fun. I was laughing. Amos was struggling. Oh, isn't that satisfying? If that wasn't satisfying, I don't know what is. One side of the gunk is much more drier and the other side is much more wetter. Oh my, this Sini scraper. Oh, it's working on it. This is so much fun. Even though I don't know what that dirt is. I have no idea what that gunk, sludge. I don't know. It must be some type of food or something. But hey, look, we are finding the sink there. What products I should use? I'm thinking of maybe Sini's kitchen cleaner and then chlorine. Yeah, let's start with the spray and super sponge. Oh man, it's coming off so easily. Oh, so great. Okay, more scraping, because it would take forever if I tried to scrub it off with just a sponge. More kitchen spray, more scrubbing, more fun, but it still needs to shine. So I think I have to wash it with power paste after this. My other favorite color is yellow, and I love how it's so energetic. Like me! I mean, I love yellow cleaning tools because they give such a fresh and excited feeling, you know? I mean, I love when you have colorful tools, then cleaning is much fun, and yeah, you know? Do you agree, or are you like opposite? Do you like gray, stylish cleaning tools? Or yeah, let me know. I also added a bit of bleach because if you have stains in your sink, kind of like rust-looking stains that often comes from food, bleach can help remove them. And you don't need much, but it does need a little time to work. And the only place you shouldn't use it is on a black composite sink, as it will turn it white. Speaking from experience, unfortunately. So I used 3 different products: Sini's kitchen cleaner, bleach or chlorine, and then Jif cream. And I want to make this sink extra shiny. So maybe I'll use this one specific product after this. I feel like Anton and basically the whole world thinks this kitchen sink is impossible to clean. But I'm gonna prove them wrong because nothing is impossible for me. Now the tab is clean, and then let's clean rest of this side. It's like there's soil, dirt, food, pasta, receipts, paper, glue, some kind of dye. Everything mixed together, but Chief Cream will take care of it. I love making this heart shape and then fill it up with Sini's kitchen cleaner. Click, click. Okay, that was fun. Kitchen spray, I was saying. Oh my god, that was so much fun. And of course, Steel Daddy takes care of the rest of the dirt. And now, look, it was easy. It took me like 3 minutes or something, and it's shiny again. Okay, should we continue Anton's story? Yeah, we should. So now your story has spread everywhere. I mean, you are getting donations, people are giving you furniture, money, support, and this tenant has disappeared from the picture, but still your home is completely destroyed. Ooh. And you can't bring in new furnitures until this place is cleaned up.
Well, no, yeah, you're completely right. Like, what's the point in that? And at this point, cleaning companies had quoted thousands of dollars to clean the apartment, and I couldn't afford anything like that. Then my friends told me about a Finnish cleaner named Aurikatariina. And I had seen some of your videos before, but I didn't know you cleaned internationally. It was so hard for me to explain the situation I was in, financially burdened, or at least about to be, because of the apartment. I didn't have a home, and it was also mentally a really tough time. So my friends contacted you, and even my sister sent you messages.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty funny story of how I ended up here, because I woke up one day with a ton of DMs on my Instagram, and everyone was linking this story about a Swedish guy, about Anton, and I didn't understand Swedish a single word, even though I have studied it for years. Sorry. No, well, that's a different story. But anyway, when the day went forward, I started getting emails too, where my Finnish followers were translating the news for me from Sweden, saying that I should help Anton. And of course, I replied one of my followers' emails asking if they could call the newspaper to help me get Anton's number. And they did. And more emails were coming, and I didn't have enough time to read all them. But I texted Anton and I was like, please, Anton, can you wait for a few weeks? I'll be there. And at the same time, I noticed that Anton's sister had contacted me and his friends, and it was like back and forth, like we all were reaching out each others. It was fun because I was sure that they can't wait for 2 weeks. Like, I was 100% sure that they will reply to me, sorry, we can't wait. It has to be sooner, and I was trying to figure out how to get there sooner, but I just couldn't. But Anton replied to me, yeah, of course we can wait. And I was like, thank you. I was so happy. I can't even explain my happiness right there. But then I started worrying if they cleaned something before me, because of course they asked, like, Anton's sister or friend asked me, like, do you need something? Do you need our help? And I was like, no. I don't want any help. I want to clean this on my own. Like, don't clean anything, please. I was so worried that they have done something, especially with the sink, because I mean, if I come to clean your home, I want to clean it all. I don't want any help, please. It would feel like if someone cleaned before I arrived, as if I was supposed to watch a movie, but you'd already watched half of the movie. Or if I love knitting socks and you handed me a pair that was half knitted, it would feel awful. But when I came here, I was relaxed because as soon as I came here, I noticed that they haven't done anything, and I was so relieved. This was all mine. Yes! But back to Anton.
Yeah, so of course you agreed to come and help me right away, and that was honestly the first glimmer of hope throughout this whole situation. And of course, I am so grateful that you wanted to come and help me, and for free.
Of course, I always clean for free. And guys, next I'm heading to Texas, and I'll be there in January and February, first in Dallas and then in Austin. I'm so excited! But there's a problem, because if you know anyone there who needs a free home cleaning, please send me an email to this email address on the screen. Include pictures of the home and its location, because right now I don't have anything lined up to clean there, so please reach out. I need to find some dirty houses. Thank you! But okay, at this point you knew that I'm coming here, so what were you thinking? What did you do?
Well, at this point the tenant hadn't answered any of my texts, and I honestly had no idea and still have no idea where he is. Somehow I was able to contact his mother, and I thought that now we're finally getting somewhere. But of course, she couldn't help us. I guess she was just trying to protect his son or something, but yeah, that really put us nowhere.
So how about police? Did they do anything or?
As I said, I reported this case to the police, but they canceled my report within a few days because it's something I need to sort out through court, I guess. I don't really know much about the legal process because it's about to start this month. But I have an amazing lawyer that will help me out. I really hope that we can get him and that he will have to pay for all the damage. But at the moment, I'm paying everything myself.
Your story is kind of terrible and beautiful at the same time. And I feel like what stood out to me the most was that everyone wanted to help you. And the support from the community was incredible. All of Sweden rushed to help, and I came from Finland with Sini cleaning. And of course, I hope the tenant is held responsible in court to compensate Anton so he gets justice. But at least now he has a clean home after me. When we took the trashes outside, neighbors came over to talk to us, and they told me they had seen news about me being here, and they hadn't even realized it was this apartment until now. They said it was really strange to see their courtyard in the news. I bet so. I would feel the same way. But yeah, they were super nice, and they told that the tenant, they barely see the tenant ever, like he was hidden somewhere. I don't know, but they said that they saw him like once or twice and that he was like a normal guy. And then the landlord came and he told us that he saw the tenant multiple times and he was a really nice guy, like a hard-working guy. Okay, Amos, what do you have there? Oh, a Christmas calendar. Ooh, some chocolate. Nice. What is that? Yummy, yummy. Okay, interesting. What else? Show me something else. Oh, a moldy bread. Nice. That looks amazing. And some random stuff. I don't know. What is that? Oh, pasta. Sorry, I didn't even recognize it at first, but it was pasta. Some milk. I can speak Swedish a little bit. I can say jag heter Auri, which means my name is Auri. Jag bor I Tammerfors. Jag live in Tampere. And that's it. School wasn't my strongest point. After this cleaning, I was in Swedish morning TV, and there I said tack så mycket, which means thank you so much. There's always competition between Finns and Swedes, or maybe it's more that Finns try to be like Swedes. But hey, at least Finland has the world's best cleaner and Sweden has the dirtiest sink in the world, so I'm not sure who's winning. But one thing is sure, that this home is now clean. Okay guys, now it's time to check out the before and after videos. And I feel so good after this cleaning. It's so fresh and stress-free here. And I'm so happy I got to do this for Anton and help him through such a difficult situation. I mean, now he can at least breathe here. And yeah, at some point maybe he can move in here when he got a new furniture. Yeah. Thank you for watching and see you in the next dirty home. I love you all. You are the best cleaning friends I have. Bye.